What's up, guys? This is Simon, and as you can see here, Luna Nightshade wanted to be a part of the video. I thought Shay was coming. I was like, she's not gonna like her being up here, but she was giving me problems before I started filming today, like for this video, and she's been doing it periodically every time I come over here. So I'm assuming she wants to be in the video, so I'm giving her some airtime. So. I just got a lemon invisibility spell done. A video, I mean. And I had the roughest time trying to figure out what to do with it because since I'm doing stuff on my phone, I have to make sure I have enough storage to do videos. So I have to do something with it if I'm not going to upload it. And if I put it on Google Drive or I don't know, can't remember what it's called, but if I put it on some type of drive thing, then I can't share it on YouTube. So I found that if it's, unfortunately it's in my gallery, so I'm thinking that it's taking up some storage space, but hopefully not too much. Anyway, I'm going to quit rambling, but I do want to say I don't know when I'm going to put that up. I might put it up with Yulemas, I might not, but I wanted to get it done today because I did the spell today, so I had the lemon to show you guys. Anyway, as you can tell, today we're talking about fire magic. I was thinking about not doing a spirit magic video, but I think I actually might do it. I don't know if I'm going to do it tomorrow or a little later, but I'm definitely going to do it. So anyway, let's get on with this one. This one's on fire magic. So the primary fire day is Tuesday. You can also use Sunday, but that's kind of more in reference to the god, at least in my practice, whereas Tuesday is just straight fire energy. So the planetary correspondences would be Mars for Tuesday and Sunday. I mean, Sun, obviously, for Sunday. So a lot of the attributions for this that you can work with are forest fires, bonfires, cauldron fires, matches, campfires, candles, embers, ashes, and burnt items. So if you guys remember when I was sharing the altar and shrines video, I showed you guys about the burnt crystal and about that burnt piece of wood. You could use those to work with the element fire. So midday or noon is the time for this, as well as summer and south. Well, those aren't times, but you know what I mean. The tenet, I guess, is to will, and salamanders and fire spirits are the elementals for this element. If you want to know more about what types of fire spirits, I'll put a link in the down bar below. So that way you guys can check it out and see more, because there's some with volcanoes. I can't even remember all of them, but yeah, so go check that out. Michael is the archangel for this, and Lord Jinn. Now this is kind of a tricky thing because some people think that Jinn is like a classification of a group of fire spirits or fire beings, and then some think that Jinn is the an entity in itself, the king of the elementals of fire. I personally view it as the second way, but you do what you will. So Athame or wand crafting and consecrating is great for this element, depending on your tradition and beliefs. This is good for immediate spells. So now we've gone through all of them. So you've learned about water being, or rather earth being for the gradual slow spells. Those type of slow spells are really gradual and time consuming, or rather lengthy in time. Then you learned about how water was good for slow spells, not necessarily as slow as earth, but still slow. Then you learned about how air is good for quick spells, and then this element, fire, is for immediate spells, so like anywhere from like an hour to usually 3 days, sometimes as long as a week, usually only 3 days. At least in my practice, that's how quick it's gone for me. So, This is also a good time to use for hexes and curses just because of that raw energy that's incorporated with fire. Also good for banishments, love, romance, lust, and sex, potency and speed in general, action and physical activity spells. I don't hear a lot of people talking about stuff like that, but this is great for if you're an athlete, you can do lots of spell work with fire, especially for rapid recovery. Like I said, raw energy, candle crafting is a good thing to do around this time, or with this energy. Transformative workings and creative and destruction workings as well. And so the little corresponding, as you can tell, there really wasn't much. I probably forgot some, but that's all I had in like the individual correspondences. So now I'm going to go into like specific that table of correspondences that I shared with every element. This is going to be talking about the different types of flames you can work with. To and when I'm talking about different types of flame, I'm talking about the salamanders and fire spirits associated with that flame that you can work with. Now, of course, you have the bigger fires and flames that you could work with, but they're obviously not as likely. They're more prominent in certain areas, and they're also not as safe. So these are the ones that are safe to work with. So you have your typical candle flame, which has the single salamander. So you only have one fire energy in there. And this is good for just doing simple spells or meditations. And the simple spells could be anything like from sparking up a relationship, so love, spiking up your relationship in regards to having sex or romance, or if you want to just have a one night stand, do a lust spell, or just helping speed a spell in general. So the next one is cauldron fires. So a cauldron fire is good for any forceful spell. This has that single but large salamander, and it will not very often, but sometimes it'll have little salamanders um, in the flames as well. And I'll explain the salamanders in a minute because I realized I forgot to do that. So this would be good for, since it's a bigger flame, more power, more energy. This would be good for your hexes and curses, for potency, and you could also use it for speed and banishments. This is really good. Whenever I'm doing a banishment, I always do a cauldron fire. I never use a candle flame. Next one is the hearth or campfire flame. So as you can tell, this one's much bigger. This has a single but still large salamander, and it will always have small dancing salamanders around that central one. This is good for your hefty spells, those heavy duty spells. So that could be like coven work, initiations, dedication. So if you want to do a dedication and you want a fire be a prominent element, consider doing a campfire or a hearth fire. So a coven work could also be like, I hate to be cliche, but you know how in the secret circle, when they bound their coven, you could do something like that with a coven work as well. It doesn't always have to be necessarily coven spells. If you only want to use it for like a dedication with your coven, I guess that's what I was referring to. Do it that way as well. The last one is bonfire. This is primarily for honorary work. You don't typically would be you wouldn't typically be using this for any type of spell work because you know it's way too much energy to be trying to work with. The fire element has the spirits that are not always willing to be very they're not always willing to work with you in what's the word, not concentrate, but cooperate. They're not always wanting to be cooperative, so you kind of have to be careful once you get into the bigger fires, because that's more entities, fire entities that you're working with, more fire spirits, and you have more of a chance of having rebellious spirits going on. Even with a cauldron fire, you can sometimes have a rebellion going on. I'm trying to remember. I think I had a little rebellion going on, but I was also working with the Phoenix too, so and that was more to teach me a lesson, but still, you can run into that situation. So salamanders are these fire spirits, and it's not the flame itself. Um, you kind of have to awaken your third eye to see them, but they reside within the glow of the flame. So not the flame, but that glow that's around the flame. So their bodies are typically rooted into the flame, especially the heart of the flame. That's where the tip of their body is, the end of their body is in the blue, the heart of the flame. And then the glow is where their arms and heads are. Some people think that they're wings instead of arms, so you think of whatever it is that you will. Um, so that's what that is. If you look closely, not too logically and too much on a focus level, but in that alpha state of mind, and you just focus in on it, you might be able to see them. They're pretty awesome. Most people have to see them through photographs because they move so fast. That's why they're great for speed, and it's also good for just activating a spell or keeping a spell in motion. So that's why they'll say if you're doing a spell jar or a spell bottle, you can light candles on it every week to keep it in motion and to keep it activated. So that's my fire magic video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it inspired you. I hope you enjoyed seeing Luna Nightshade. Maybe she'll start behaving now in my videos. I gotta do one more. I'm trying to remember what it's called. It's the YouTube Pagan Challenge video. I'm trying to remember what it's called. What is it called? What are your cultural influences? That's gonna be really fun. And I'm gonna let you guys know now. There is a side video to that. One person, I can't remember who it was, but they commented on how they couldn't find the side videos. These side videos, I guess that's not the right term to use, but what I mean by that is that I guess I should start saying follow-up video, because that's technically what happens. The side video is not, you're not going to find a link to it in the YouTube Pagan Challenge video, because I do them afterwards, and I don't always do them right after and upload them right away. Sometimes I'll do it a day or two later. So you're never going to find it in a link in the description box or have it pop up during the video. It's going to be a separate video that will be uploaded separately, and you should get a notification for that. If you haven't clicked the bell, please do so that we can get notifications and you can watch my videos. Yeah. So that's it. So I wanted to clarify that so that way there was no confusion. So I'm going to start saying follow-up video, that there's a follow-up video. So maybe that makes more sense to you guys. As always, thank you for watching, and blessed be my dear witchlings.